Well, good evening, Deadman Walking 55 here, coming to you from the East Coast at about 11 after the 8 o'clock hour on the East Coast. Let me see. Trying to make sure that it looks like we have success. All right, we do. What happened, folks, before I made an error in setting up the original StreamYard, thought I deleted the right one. Well, when we went live the first time, it did not. So there's a duplicate link out there. So, well, this is the one that's live. Mhm. Yeah. Okay. My technical supervisor, the missus, is just coordinating me what we should do. But hey, so now after being even more delayed, let me go ahead. Checking Twitch said, let me go ahead and bring in the co-pilot tonight through football season, the end of the year here. It's a great JT Kirk. Hey, JT.
Hey, good evening.
Hey, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing all right. It's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. You got
Made some cookies with the
oh
kids.
wow, that's awesome. Did you have Arnold Schwarzenegger running around looking for a Turbo Man or anything?
We did have Jingle All the Way on earlier today. How did you know?
It's the best Christmas movie around, regardless of what the missus says. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
but
except for that one scene where they're in the diner and the youngster drinks out of that container. I was
oh
like,
yeah,
I don't know about that.
no, it just was a future message. Your kid's gonna be like you, Dad, if you don't change your way.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
But which dad, Myron or Harold? Howard.
Howard.
Well, the game that we have going on tonight, before we talk about the other games a little bit, is Ohio State and Tennessee. They have kicked off. But have you seen the uniforms for Ohio State?
Yes, and
All
not going to
red.
help them. Not going to help them.
All red jerseys, red pants with the silver helmet. I mean, I when Florida does that with the blue and all, I hate that crap. Just like the Baltimore Ravens do it with all purple. You need the contrast. Like, unless
Right.
you're like Tennessee with all white. All white is one thing, but when it's a color, it's definitely
Tacky.
too much.
Tacky.
Yeah. Well, we got our first third down in here, and I want to say hello to our chat real quick, and you, JT, in just a second, because I'm curious to see what is going to happen with this first play tonight, because I've got to get the tweets out and everybody. I know we got Tennessee fans all around that have come in through this year a little bit, and mate,
I thought you were doing a clap shift.
No. Well, that bastard got lucky with this year. I'm like, I'm trying to see. Tennessee looks like they got called for something on the pass rush. I'm like,
yeah, that link I sent you, I don't think is caught up in time on that one thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, they did. He got him by the face mask. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Oh, anyway, well, hello, JT. Good to see you. We also got Finity here with us. Cheers, Chief Judge. How are you tonight? So what we're doing, we're talking about the first round of the college playoffs, which, folks, really honestly has not been worth shite. I mean, if you have watched these games, I've watched more than enough to know that this has been shitey football, and I think when we look back, the committee got this wrong badly. But let's see, and we can talk more as time comes about this. Oh shoot, let me go ahead and get the tweets out. And JT, so what is your evaluation of the game so far based on what you've seen with the scores and what you've read about?
Yeah, overall, I don't think we've seen a lot of great football. I mean, I don't know if the selection committee got everything necessarily wrong, as you say, because the teams that were supposed to win thus far have won. But the level of competition and the margins of victory have not made for top rate football that you're going to want to like borrow money to get tickets to go to these games because you're a fan of the school. It's just not at that level, and I think there's definitely room for improvement too. So, I mean, yes, you want like a 1, 2, 3, or 4 seed beating a 16th seed, ideally, right? But
Right.
not in this way. Not in this way. And I don't
Yeah.
think the games we had yesterday were that great either. So,
Right. No, it was Notre Dame and Indiana in that game.
and that not only extends from the playoff, but in the bowl games too. I know the focus is kind of done and gone on bowl games.
Yeah.
Unless your school is in one of those. But I still don't think they did a stellar job with either one of those.
No. We'll take a look at it. Wow, Ohio State scores early.
Of course they did. Well, folks,
going through the air.
Dad Man and I are both pulling for Tennessee here.
I know.
I don't think there's any secrets about that whatsoever.
Nope, we're not. We're biased. We're homers. We don't. We go for who we think. We try to be objective about it, but when they do well, they do well. If they don't, they don't.
Yep. So if you do have a favorite, feel free to put it in the chat.
Absolutely.
So we know where you stand. We're not going to make fun of you or
nope, not at all
like that. We just
take pride, have fun with it. That's what the game's about. Well, we got 6 people watching us, so we got a few people lurking. Feel free to say hi. I'll probably say go Rocky Top a few times, but I don't know. This was not the start they wanted, giving up a touchdown right off the bat. I mean,
no, it's not. Not at all.
A key face mask. They could have forced Ohio State to 3 and out with a punt, and then it turns into an Ohio State touchdown. Let me bring the live stats up on that game then real quick. And then
and it's BS. They're in Ohio in the first place. It really is.
Why do you say that, JT?
Well, because you put an 8 and a 9, and I think Tennessee's had a much harder schedule and is a better team. So they should have had a home game down in Knoxville. It's the math and everything that worked out. I don't think if you're a team that misses out on your conference championship game, first of all, and then dumps one to a trashy Michigan team, that you should be getting a home game here. I really don't. I feel like they rigged the setup to get Ohio State that home.
I agree. You said that about Alabama. Everybody gripes about Alabama, but I'd say this thing has existed for Ohio State forever. They could do no wrong. They want to shove them in. And in certain years, Michigan gets the pampered treatment.
Yes.
Yes. So Max Redstone, by the way, said foosball's the devil. Hey, Max Redstone, we will teach you foosball as much as
Infinity. You can hide as much as you can hide from the movement of time. We promise to have things only going forward at 1x speed.
I am very linear.
Whole time. Yep.
I personally am very linear. I can't. I just, oh God. But yes, I do not believe. I will, Max. That we probably will not go as long as I intended tonight. We do want to cover the games. We do want to cover this game. And if this game starts the way it started, if it becomes like the other games, well, I will save my voice. Because to let you know, Mrs. and I are planning on doing a detour with the Dad Bands on Monday night about our trip to Universal. We weren't able to do our Christmas show last night for many reasons. So we thought about trying to do this. So, and Max, you have a good night. Thanks for coming by and saying hi, dude. And thanks for coming on last night. It was a pleasure as always.
Yeah. It was good to see you, Max.
Yep. So Will Howard hit Jeremiah Smith for 37 yards with a touchdown pass. So, hey, and I tell you what, Finity, that's kind of what I do with finding places to dig into where I can find something where either I want to avoid topics, usually politics, or people. So I just let me go somewhere and I can hide out there. So
so you want to talk politics? We can do
that. No. Anyway, well, let's take a look. This game 7-0. We'll see what Tennessee comes out, how they respond. Will Howard went 3 of 4 on that drive for 66 yards and a touchdown. Very efficient.
Yeah.
Last night's game featured Notre Dame hosting Indiana in the first playoff game. Indiana laid a big egg. Notre Dame jumps out to 17-3 halftime lead. Actually expands it to 27-3 in the fourth quarter. It looks close at 27-17, but it's a joke. Indiana got its 2 touchdowns, scored 14 points in the last minute and a half of the game. This game was over. Bad. Notre Dame amassed 400 yards of total offense. Indiana 278. First downs were fairly even, 17-20. Turnovers, 1 each. Notre Dame had the ball for about 11 minutes longer. Not much to say about this game. This is how bad this game was when probably it was the first possession for Notre Dame. They got the ball 2-yard line and one play, 98-yard touchdown run by Jeremiah Love to put them up 7-0. So it's gone, and it just didn't get better there.
And that was on the offensive side of the ball that the game was over for Indiana. The defense, 27 points, you might lose the game, but you look at that score set: 1 touchdown in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the fourth. I mean, this is not like Notre Dame was hyper productive at any point in time, but when you go into the fourth quarter with 3 points, it's hard to play a defensive game and just be climbing up that hill. I look at that and just feel bad for the defensive side of the ball for Indiana.
Indiana was held to 63 yards rushing, under 3 yards a carry. Threw the ball for 215 yards, but still 2 touchdowns and a pick. But again, the 2 touchdowns didn't happen until the last minute and a half of the game. So it's like,
who cares?
Who cares?
Notre Dame's already sitting all the people they need to get ready for the next round.
Yep. Yep. I understand that too.
And I don't blame Notre Dame for that. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I don't blame them either. I mean, they got the home game. They play within the system. We're going to take a look at a couple other games, and then we'll address this broader issue with Indiana in this game, because I will tell you, Tennessee is now having a punt. Okay, so we will see now with Indiana. Okay, Indiana. So we will jump over to the first game today. Another one-sided route, piece of crap game. Penn State. We're happy for Wes Cagle and Connie Cleary. 6th-ranked Penn State does win easily 38-10. Of course, I'm mad because I decided to buy the stupid SMU hype train, and I should not have. Again, kind of like trying to trust Lane Kiffin to do anything. But SMU just does nothing with this game. I mean, dude, 2 pick sixes. Not just 2. The first 2 scores for Penn State. 14-0 lead with 13:09 in the second quarter, both on pick sixes by the SMU quarterback. The first one was such a bad pass. It was well overthrown, and the guy only had running back 23 yards. It was like, it was pathetic. SMU's held to 250 yards, 3 turnovers. They had more first downs, but Penn State only amassed 325 yards total on offense in this game. Let's see.
I still think, though, I mean, you look at it, and if your team is giving up 28 points, your defense is done. You're cooked.
Yeah, it's like Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys, perfect example. Last couple of years, even though they ended up scoring 30, overpaid quarterback can put up points when it doesn't matter. You can only fall so much. SMU did it 2 times in a row. Remember, they fell so far behind Clemson in the ACC championship game, but they managed to come back and they forced overtime. But this time they couldn't. They didn't have the magic. Kevin Jennings was 20 of 36 for SMU, only 195 yards passing, but 3 picks. And you're playing from behind.
When you see a game like this, it really makes me wonder, and maybe this is squirreling a little bit onto a different topic, but when you look at these schedules and look at these games, you have the Indiana game where they're in the Big Ten, but they're a giant nothing burger. And you look at this
Mhm.
type of matchup, and Penn State was basically ranked, for all intents and purposes, neck and neck with Indiana, and then you get SMU,
Yeah.
and they're not, they did not really look like competition that should have been in this college football playoff. So, are there
We-
really only two conferences, or is there actually room to move around? Because on the one hand, you'd like to say, well, it's just the SEC and the Big Ten, and then everybody else, and just slot all your best competition in as the Big Ten teams. But then you have Indiana coming in laying a bomb like they did. So it's hard for me to decide and make up my mind on where I think the direction of everything's headed. But looking at these games,
well, I think one of the things they're going to have to do, and they're going to have to start analyzing not the human polls. They're going to have to analyzing the conference lineups, and really a true strength of schedule. They're going to have to start analyzing what type of teams these teams play within a conference. Like Indiana's played nobody with a winning record except
Right.
Ohio State. Got smashed, wasn't even in the game.
Right.
SMU did not play Miami, did not play Georgia Tech, did not play the big teams in the ACC that beat each other up. They beat each other up with 3 and 4 in the conference.
And some of this isn't their fault.
Well,
you schedule these games out
yeah,
how far, and then the teams you play just don't show up. That's not always this team's fault, but that doesn't mean that they also earned this type of spot.
Because what we can see is like SMU. SMU is one right here. They lost the championship game to Clemson. Well, Miami would have been in it instead of Clemson, so Miami would have beaten SMU. But Miami had lost to Syracuse. But see, Syracuse, Georgia Tech, you've got some teams, but see, these teams lost to other teams based on the strength of schedule they play within the conference. SMU, let's take a look real quick. And we will look at this for Indiana to save it here. SMU, Nevada. See, let's look at the conference games for SMU, which would be BYU. They lost. Beat TCU. They beat Florida State, an ACC team. Oh yeah, they lost. That's a Big 12 matchup there, by the way. Look, they had TCU, FSU, which we know is trash. They did beat Louisville. They beat Stanford, which was trash. Duke, they barely won. They had a couple decent wins.
Yeah.
Cal, Virginia. Bad teams, bad to mediocre teams. Then they lose to Clemson. They lose to Penn State. You get crushed. That's where I see. You make more of a case for BYU in a game like this. Why did the Big 12 not get more teams? Why did Big 12 not get more teams? Because this historically for the ACC down here in the South, the SEC says ACC is a bullshit conference. They should get their one automatic for when they're and that's it. Because all your ACC is a bunch of playing the sisters of the poor.
Well, yeah. If you're not Clemson, then you're not much.
Yeah. Clemson of all the teams in that Clemson see that's what made it travesty. Miami did not get invited. Miami was dominant this year at times. They had talent, they had ability, and they because they had a bad time loss against Syracuse. Let's take a look at Miami here. Let's see the teams. You saw the SMU's. And Miami had to go on the road at Florida, blew them out. They had Virginia Tech, they had Cal, Louisville, FSU, Duke. They lost to Georgia Tech, and they lost at Syracuse. So they had a harder conference schedule than SMU did. And I tell you, SMU is still from a small conference. They were in the American last year. I believe I am one that believes in it's the SEC and the Big Ten. That's it. Although you have to really take a look. I believe the SEC
you used
can
to
go
have
deeper.
Pac-12 in there to at least make
because
in the Big 12, but
right, it'd be the three conferences
this year,
But I think really the thing is that in the SEC, it goes deep. That about the third and fourth teams are much better than the third and fourth teams in the Big Ten or the ACC. I'm going to come back because I do want to take a look. We're
But
going to
that's
take a
not
look at
always the case from year to year.
and that's
This
where you
year,
have to
yes.
value it. Yeah, that's why
Mhm.
it really takes a lot of studying and subjectivity. Oh my God, Ohio State's. Well, we might be call. I might not be giving up on this
You
game pretty
calling
early.
this? You calling the
14
game
and
already?
nothing. Oh my God,
Uh,
Ohio hate. Let's see. That's what I was afraid with Tennessee trolling the hell out of. It's been fun and beautiful, but oh my gosh, sometimes that's why I don't run your mouth.
yep.
Sometimes it's better not run your mouth and to just sit back and wait. Um, let's
Yep.
see. Let's take a look at this Big Ten. Okay, so because this is Ethan Grunkmeyer, he's the backup that got to play for Penn State today after the backup transferred because the timing of the transfer portal forced him to leave during the middle of a playoff run. Go figure. But see, here's the thing, though, JT. You see, Indiana had such a weak schedule; they ended up finishing ahead of Ohio State.
Well, but
Or
and they didn't know that their schedule was going to be so weak. But you're absolutely right. My only thing is, I think we both probably agree. Get rid of the AP and the coaches poll, and get a real strength of schedule set up. My only
yeah,
fear is that they're going to come up with these preseason rankings and just put Ohio State and Alabama, Notre Dame, and Texas at the top,
yeah,
and then Oregon and
no.
put those teams up at the top, and then every year it's going to be a battle for everyone else to always fight them,
For one or
and
two,
that
one
isn't
maybe
fair.
two. No,
My,
and
my
I
whole
do
thing
agree.
is
Yeah.
like you start everybody out at 500, and if you win a game, you move up the stack. If you lose a game, you move down the stack, and then from there, by the time you get to the CFP rankings, you know, once you win those games, you have some strength of schedule modifier in there that says, look, here's who else you played, and just make it completely mathematical. Stop
Well,
with
and
this legacy ranking
what I think they
BS.
went too far the other way this year because what they did
Mhm.
is they went to this. We're rewarding somebody that made a conference championship game. Well, so what when they played a bunch of chump teams there, like we see with SMU?
Right.
SMU had the advantage because everybody felt sorry for them and they should be there. Bullshit. They showed today what they really were. Indiana showed what they really were. The eyeball test is all you need, I think, sometimes. And I think these committees need to quit putting their little agendas and trying to. It's like a social. It's like they're trying to play the puppet master between a social experiment. They
Right.
don't know what the hell they're doing. It's like,
Right.
I mean, anybody in the right mind knew at Miami would be a better matchup in this than SMU. Anybody with the right mind would know Indiana would not stand up against Notre Dame, considering they couldn't score against Ohio State. Penn State, I think, to me was borderline, but they got the beneficiary of getting a weak SMU team. These
Mhm.
teams, because they may have been in the American last year, just because they're in the ACC, does not mean they're ready for these games now, and we're seeing it. We should have had, and look, I know you're mad with Alabama, but I tell you what, this shows Alabama should have been in this thing because of their 3 losses. When you look at these, hey, Peter Venkman fan site. Well, yeah, Ohio State's up 14-0 on Tennessee. The curse of dad man is transposed to the poor people in Rocky Top.
I think every
Oh
single
my,
one of our brackets, except for that Penn State, for me, is going to be busted
yeah, mine's
all to
busted
hell.
because I took SMU.
Well, we
You
both took
bastards.
Texas, right? We took
Yeah,
Texas,
yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah, we got a couple left.
yeah, but we'll see. Hey, mine's completely decimated. I had Tennessee winning it all, and they have not bothered to show up tonight. I heard they had about 30,000 fans there in Ohio State, but
Hmm.
they're going to have to. Nico's going to have to throw the ball tonight. Ohio State's. I just, I
Coming
tell
for
you,
them.
it'll be
They're coming for them. Yeah.
it will be a fun game post game show in Rocky Top though tonight because the fans have been on Nico a lot this year
Hmm.
and Josh Heupel because they want to throw the ball and this team is really not a throwing team. They've actually spent most of the year. Actually, that they go into this game, they have actually had more yardage rushing than they have throwing. So now we got a third down and forever because they just sacked Neo again. So
And small time
Yeah,
Republic is a good
yeah,
point.
yeah. But you know what? I will say, you pick. But that's why they pay them the big bucks. You make the tough decisions and you defend it. It's not rocket science. We got Indiana and SMU that did not show that they did not deserve to be in this game. You could have taken two of them because South Carolina or Ole Miss deserved it more than Indiana when you look at the game by game schedules. But
Mhm.
this SMU, they justified by saying, well, they played for the conference title, but then again, Texas, they said, and if you look at it, Texas had one of the easier SEC conference schedules this year. Of course, they're going to make a conference championship game. But then Alabama did have a more difficult schedule within the SEC. So, but yeah, to me, you take two of the three. Somebody's going to get left out at some point. But if they want people to buy into the system, they can't keep hitting with these these feel good stories like Indiana and SMU. Had they just
Right.
shown up and played competitive, had they just we saw this last week with SMU against Clemson in the first half. They smoke and mirrors. I think they mean it. But see, then again, that's the thing is I think people took too much stock, and I probably did in that second half against Clemson. Remember Georgia, Alabama this year. The first half of that game, Alabama was so dominant. And then look at what happened to Alabama's season after that.
Right.
Just because you get up big on a team does not mean you can do it for two halves. The second half, but this team today, SMU came out. The JT, they were just bad. I mean, they looked like a high school team playing against them. The first pick six
Yeah.
was, and then James Franklin.
Or just a MAC team, because I mean, look, a lot of these MAC teams are paycheck teams, paycheck games, and when you watch them, they do look like a high school team still, not a college team at all.
Yeah, because I tell you, and then James Franklin. I mean, all the rumored people that I want at Florida instead of Billy Napier, and I still don't think that's a long term fit. But that's another issue. But
Yeah,
James
small time
Franklin today.
Republic. I don't know. I tend to agree with you.
Yeah.
As much as I like Boise State,
Yeah.
I don't think number 3 is that great of a thing to claim. But
hey, in this game, James Franklin also did our pet peeve. He went for fourth and a foot on inside his own 20, and it didn't happen. This was how incompetent
there's some ego compensation.
This is how incompetent
right
incompetent SMU was this week because they got the ball inside the 20 and could not even get a field goal. So, but yeah, but you know what? I think that's one living on legacy because we all think back to that game in Oklahoma against Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl that they've actually proven it at some point in the past. But yeah, I don't know. It's just at least them as the fifth seed. But you couldn't have put Tech. The problem is you got your 5 conference champions. You got the SEC, which is Georgia, Oregon for Big Ten. You got Arizona State for the Big 12. So it's either the ACC conference champion Clemson or Boise State. Maybe a 4th instead of a 13. Yeah, I did. I missed that one too.
It's almost like you need to start the playoffs earlier. Is one way to get 32 or 64 teams in and just get rid of the paycheck games and to play like 7 conference games or something. I don't know what the answer is at that point.
The thing is, it can be done if these committees just will use more true judgment. And like I think if I'm characterizing what Small Town Republic's saying, they're not afraid to put 2 of the 3 SEC teams in. If it may be a 12-team playoff, but so what if it's 8 SEC teams? If they're the best teams in the country, you put them in. We can eyeball. South Carolina was better than Indiana. You know it. Ole Miss, better than Indiana. And
I knew that. I'm a Big Ten guy, and you knew it. Anyone could tell.
But it's like, are we going to go for the best teams or being a social experiment? And it's like, use your judgment, base these teams. Because I tell you, and I'll be honest, of those 3 teams, if one of them got in, do you know which one I would at least I felt of those three should be in between Alabama, Piss, and Scar.
You'll probably say Alabama, right?
No, not in hell. South Carolina.
Yeah.
South Carolina.
Oh well, that's what I
They
was going to say, but I my own bias in there.
the problem with them has been that they've been so Jekyll and Hyde. They've been really bad when they've been bad. But this team, they got Lenore Sellers, a kid that couldn't throw the ball last year. He's become a very good thrower this year, and he runs. They dominant. Their defense is dominating. They have the defense old Piss needs to have, but they don't. And I just Scars to me, this thing, forget Alabama. They had more than enough stuff, and they had they did have the harder SEC in conference schedule this year, but. So you've had your time. It's time to move on. Scar deserved it based on what they did on the field, I believe, this year. And hey, FKHC, good to see you. Yes,
Hey.
RIP Ricky Henderson, definitely. Yeah, we were over on the other link, but I had a problem the other day with the way I set this up and had to cancel a stream. So we had to come up with a new stream link. But glad you found us tonight.
Yeah.
Welcome. Yeah. So feel free, share your thoughts. Okay. We know that Small Time does not think Boise deserved a 3 seed, but what out in the chat, if you got opinions, what do you think? What team should well, do you agree with me or JT? SMU and Indiana didn't belong. Are there any of the other teams you didn't think belong? Or who do you think should have been included? Feel free, go ahead and opine. So yeah. Like P. Rose, a modern day Ty Cobb, but a heck of a player. Yep. Yes, he was. I remember seeing Ricky Henderson play. That was so awesome. That I had a great time of watching baseball in the 80s and 90s. So, oh my God, JT, don't ask.
Oh, well, now that I'm not allowed to.
Well, we're talking about 5 minutes in the fourth quarter. Ohio State has the ball at midfield, second 11. I'll take a look at a play here. Well, y'all go ahead and opine. Get some thoughts in there. What do you think? Who should have been excluded? Okay, so it's going to set up about a third and fourth for Ohio State. So, but I tell you what, I really love what the Tennessee fans did this week. I love the fact that they called it, went and hacked the Wikipedia site, renaming Ohio Stadium Neyland North. I like that they bought up a lot of the tickets. They had the athletic director for Ohio State begging Ohio State fans not to show the early access and to buy tickets so the Tennessee fans wouldn't take over the stadium. And there was a lot of good trolling this week. Or that one meme with the guy poking at Ohio State, do something,
Well, it is good to see like people actually getting invested in any of these games. Because sometimes I wonder how manufactured some of it is. With the bowl games, we know the excitement's manufactured.
Yeah.
The interest is just not there.
Well, the only problem, what's happened, I think Tennessee got so involved with it and it built a lot of excitement that their players forgot to look because Ohio State is driving again. I'm just like, I mean, Will Howard has not thrown the ball like this all season, and he's throwing like a madman tonight. Another first down deep, and
FKHC 2005's got a PSA for everybody.
Because then make sure you always open the door to the house and make sure Christmas wreath doesn't have a bird in it. Oh no. My gosh. Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
That's almost like Christmas Vacation, except you didn't get our channel mascot, the squirrels, like in Christmas Vacation. So, but hey, oh boy, that's funny.
Well,
all right. Hey, what's good though is I have good food today. I got a pizza that I started eating on earlier from our Sam's Club. I'll have more of that. I actually made a cherry pie in the oven tonight. It's one of the boxed ones, but hey, so at least there'll be food.
I got my son involved in making some snickerdoodle cookies, so that was probably more fun for Dad than it was for him, but at least he got to have the experience, right?
Mrs. loves snickerdoodles, by the way. No, those are banning phrases. Clam pizza. That's Mark D with a C with a clam pizza.
Mark. That's all Mark.
I did try it once on the cheap. it could work theoretically. I think not that I want to. I think it could theoretically work. I,
Like you
I
could theoretically just throw it out,
no,
not
that you
think
could
about it ever
that
again.
the clam would actually go with the cheese and the pizza.
Hmm.
I think it's possible. No, well, I've actually had that before. It was okay. I wouldn't say
Hmm.
it's the worst. The worst was anchovies, but I don't want pineapple on my pizza. So,
I
well, we could,
see. I love pineapple on pizza
oh, you
more
do?
than now. See, would you rather eat pineapple on pizza or watch Ohio State
Oh my
win this
god!
game?
Oh my god! See, this is what the problem is. I brag on the SEC and all this. Tennessee doesn't, and they don't even look like they're there tonight. I mean, this looks like Florida played Nebraska in the national championship game in 1995. I mean, this. I mean,
That bad.
that was such a weak ass effort of tackling a guy that I saw
Hmm.
for the Tennessee defensive back, and he ended up getting outrun for a touchdown. Wow. Hey, you know what? It's going to get crazy, folks. I will say I
Yeah.
apologize
This.
to I apologize to Southern Belle. I apologize to my Tennessee fans and friends out there. I love your Rocky Top song, but I'm sorry I must have brought you the Dad Man Jinx. This is like
Both of
incredibly.
us.
It's
Both
like
of us brought the
horrible.
jinx.
I feel
This.
bad about it. But I tell you, what's going to be crazy is they will turn on. I mean, it's going to be interesting, and their talk shows on Monday.
Yeah.
I'm like, because they're not. You think I'm bad about Napier?
Right.
They are over the top sometimes on hypo. We don't throw enough. We don't do tempo. I mean, I'm like sitting there thinking, like, guys, at least you got a coach that knows how to clock manage and do.
Right.
He doesn't try to be Les Miles and stuff, and sits there and lets all his time. I'm like, I'll trade coaches with you in a hurry. And
Yeah.
actually, I've heard their radio personalities say, "Hey, we want Napier there. They don't want Napier fraud. Whenever your opponents like your head coach, you know you had the wrong head coach."
Yes. Yep. Yep. Exactly.
So it's going to be fun to listen to Tennessee afterwards. I feel bad because they have one of the best announcers in the world, Bob Kessling, who started on the JP networks and all these fly-by-night little podunk regional networks and
Uh huh.
stuff. He did a lot. Or these in the old days of sports coverage when sports was not on TV or but very regional. He's the voice of the Vols, and now he is his last season. And
Hmm.
I hate to see that his last Vol football game will end up like this, because he's been legacy. He's been one of the best announcers I've ever liked to follow, and it kind of sounded like there's some. He's kind of not necessarily wanting to leave,
Yeah.
which is kind of like, why are you people doing that to somebody like that? But and then the next people that are interested in the job, one of them is on the sports station there, and I'm like, that's the guy that deserves it. He does their baseball right now. He's
Hmm.
Mr. Tennessee and all, but I bet you he won't get the job. Because that's usually how it goes. They're going to go for some name.
Yeah.
Uh,
Small time Republic.
yeah.
You just seeing that his coworker got mad because they were trying to watch their weight, and somebody brought in snickerdoodle cookies to the office.
Well, hey, that's on you. That's on the. I know. Don't impose your thing on everybody else, But hey, that's crazy. So, what's like me? They get frustrated when. Actually, I don't know about the youngsters, but years ago, I
Hmm.
was. They kept me from bringing in the donuts because I would always bring in a dozen of donuts, but I'd bring in all chocolate and chocolate
Well, the good
varieties.
ones. The good
Yeah,
ones.
double chocolate, chocolate glazed, chocolate
Yeah.
frosted.
You don't tell them,
Yeah.
oh, just give me a mix. All
Chocolate
right.
cream. No,
Any of that? No.
my boss would get maple and strawberry. I was like, well, who the hell eats friggin' maple and crap like that?
Nobody likes. I mean, yeah, you'll eat them maybe, but nobody
Now,
wants
folks,
those.
JT, this officially I think this segment of our show fully illustrates what we think of the first round of the playoffs, including tonight. We're talking friggin' donuts, not college football. Oh, boy.
Well, we're thinking about the holidays, which
Yeah.
is kind of a big problem with some of these games is, yeah, some people might have more time, especially if they're single or whatnot, or kids are out of the house perhaps, and you don't have grandkids yet or something.
Yep.
Maybe you have more time to watch these. I
Oh,
don't know.
but
I have young kids. I sure as hell didn't. And I even had a week off of work. I didn't have time to watch all of these games.
I didn't even watch the Gator game because I'm like, why am I going to bother watching? It's a game that your quarterback could actually get seriously hurt in that doesn't mean anything. It's
Right.
and it's just like, and they're doing the thing about the 300-pound defensive lineman running the ball. Crap, he barely got a yard, but he got a first down. I'm like, dude, too many gimmicks for that team. Tennessee is driving now. They've got a second down, but this is neat, Tim. Somebody that shops at his work, played for Ohio State, played in the Rose Bowl, that tackled OJ too.
That is pretty cool.
That's cool.
Although Ohio State, I don't know about that.
Yeah. Small Time said an exception would be Hugh Freeze. He is not liked by opposing fan bases, and they don't want him fired.
What's really going to be rough is how vicious they go after the Tennessee coach and all this stuff.
Yeah.
If they lose this game, but
yeah,
in reality, I think he's done a pretty good job at keeping Tennessee football relent. Because how many years did they go
making it relevant again? It had been 25 years at least. It had been Fulmer's last days, like around 2000. I mean, it just they had the Lane Kitten disaster, 1 year of destruction. That's the type of night where I had a co-host a couple years ago, lady she's geeky, that we would actually watch and stream about the Tennessee South Carolina game when they collapsed and stuff. And this is what people like that I miss talking to. That I'm like, I'm happy for you guys finally getting a team that y'all can be happy for and cheering for. Because as much as I hate Tennessee with a passion, they are a good fan base. They are a loyal fan base. I'm sorry we're not seeing Southern Belle tonight, but I'm sure she's all focused on this game.
Yeah.
So you never know. Hold up hope. Well, they held Tennessee to 4th and 14, so we shall see what shall happen. So,
well, at this point, I feel like you almost have to go for it on every single one now. If you're that far behind already.
They're punting, but see, the ball's only at midfield. At this point, it's like field position. God, you can't stop them already. You don't want to give them the ball at the 50-yard line. So I'm sure Tennessee fans will be.
But in my opinion, I don't know if it really is going to hurt you either way.
You're not stopping them already, yeah.
Right, yeah. So what does it matter if you make them start at their own 15 versus the midfield? All they're going to do is eat up a little bit more clock on you.
Okay, JT, what are you thinking with this Tim's question? Because we had the 14 as of last year. This year's 12. What about a 6 or 8 team first?
No, because I think the reason that I think they went to the 12 team, or the current size that they're at now, is because they were being accused of leaving too many teams out and playing too many games with who gets to be in and who doesn't get to be in. So I think expanding it a little bit faster probably helped them. Now, having first round bye weeks, I've never been a fan of. So I wish they would have
even in the NFL.
Yeah. Okay. I don't like it. I don't like it at all because I feel like it doesn't reward anybody but the team that got to skate by playing the easiest opponents on some of this. I mean, Indiana almost could have gotten that first round bye week, right? So I don't think a slower expansion would have helped.
No. At all. And the plans are to go. The plans are going to 16 eventually. Oi, Santa, Megatron, good to see you tonight. How are you? But yeah, one of the things was I don't like the off balance. I think they should have just done 16 and have everybody play the first week. You know? But this is kind of the thing that happened tonight. Tennessee was so excited, even when their players came out with no shirt in the weather up there. And how cold is it up there tonight, JT?
Oh, geez. It can't be above freezing.
Yeah.
By me, it's below freezing. It's 18 degrees right now for me.
Oh, gosh. Again, how do y'all keep
And
everything
that's
from
before wind
freezing?
chill. Okay, so it's a balmy 24 with
Wow.
wind at 7 miles an hour. So
Hey,
that's
very
not
good.
bad. Humidity at 61%. Now, I tell you, that's going to make it feel colder than
Yeah,
you would otherwise want it.
yeah,
You want the humidity lower than that, so that way it doesn't just get into your bones.
right. No, I agree. It's like when we have humidity down here and it's a cold night, it can be bad. But hey, Tennessee cannot even do what Nebraska did. Nebraska at least only lost 21-17, which meant they
Right.
didn't fall down 20 to like this. Oh my gosh! Even Penn State. Well, they're kind of Tennessee's on the Purdue path. Northwestern.
Mhm.
It's just like just crazy. I just this is the problem with going out and talking too much before a game, because Ohio State was so embarrassed with that Michigan game. They got their ass focused for this game
Yeah,
tonight.
they did.
And I think Tennessee walked into something they never expected. Oh, look at Buddy saying copycats Notre Dame players did that yesterday. Hey, Buddy's from the South. It's a big thing for us Southerners, even though he's up in the mountains where it's cold. Good to see you, Buddy. Good to see you tonight.
Hey, Buddy Hepburn.
We were going to try to follow this game tonight, but yeah, but I think
it's for all intents and purposes. It's I mean, don't count your chickens before they hatch, but it sure seems like this game is over.
yeah, well, I'll tell you. Here's the question for Tennessee though. What do you do about Nico? Is he really your long-term answer? At some point, you have got to start asking the question. I mean, they protected him all year. They went run first, have him dink, dunk, throw. It's not the normal Josh Heupel offense. Buddy Hepburn, young man, you behave there. Be nice.
I was going to give you a chance to read that, so I was just going to flat out say no.
Yeah. I look. Well, that's what I said about, and say, okay, let's do that. Let's throw Tennessee into it. Okay, we condemned Indiana. We condemned SMU. Fine. Okay. Alabama, fair, because Alabama did have a tougher SEC schedule. Scar, Ole Miss. I mean, it's going to open it all up for. I mean, just because somebody has 2 losses versus 3 does not mean that they're more worthy of a bid, though. JT, that's why I say these committees have got to use their brains and use judgment and go beyond just the numbers per se. Go ahead.
Me? Oh, I didn't have anything. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Mrs. Sorry, I got an incoming from the missus, but it's about Monday's show.
Ah, okay.
So, God, Tennessee. No, buddy, hey, let it fly. You had 29 degrees at Notre Dame. I will say, yeah, buddy, it's a point. I mean, again,
I'm starting to wonder if Clemson and Tennessee had played, how that game would have ended up.
Well, yeah, because it's a see, do we not have a problem? And let's think about this though a little bit. Clemson is the ACC winner, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why did they have to go on the road to Texas? If your system is to reward conference champions,
right?
Why wouldn't the 5th conference champion be automatically the 5th seed, regardless of ranking, because they won their conference championship? I mean, the top 4 get the byes, obviously, but why wouldn't the 5th conference champion be slotted for a home game? We talked about this weeks ago. Remember, JT, when they kept saying Ohio State, when Ohio State had that home game, it's like, why did they get a friggin' home game when Boise was like 12 seed scheduled to be a conference champion? Why should, if we're going to reward conference champions, if we're going to start putting people in just because they made a conference championship game, then why don't we reward them for a higher seeding and a home game in the first round?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a flawed system overall. I think we're just seeing that here. They need to change a bunch more, and it has nothing to do with who we personally like here or not.
Exactly. Small time sin, 18 playoff with no group of 5 teams, and no major conference championship games would work. Yeah, I mean, you're going to see the death of the conference championship games now. Why not? I mean, Lane
Well,
Kiffin's
what
already
purpose do they
Lane,
serve anymore now that you're not going to a bowl game?
and Lane Kiffin brought that up this year before the SEC championship game. I mean, in the speed pursuit of the speed to get a national this playoff system, they're making certain things irrelevant. Or you're going to have it won't be as bad as like in basketball when you have a basketball where somebody in the conference didn't win a single conference game, but they get hot, win the conference tournament, and now you're one representative in the NCAA tournament. But we could still have that. You could have had SMU
Right.
as the ACC rep, and then Clemson wouldn't have even been in it. Yeah, and it burned Georgia with getting hurt in it. That's another issue too that's going to happen. What are the conference? Is it the time's passed for the conference championship games?
Now, did
because of that.
Tennessee sit a whole bunch of players or something right before the game?
What's that?
Did Tennessee sit a bunch of players right before the game?
I was listening to their post game. I heard nothing about that. Nope.
This doesn't even look like them as a team right now.
No, that defensive effort, he just kind of just put his arm out there and the guy beat him to the sideline. But he said, the Notre Dame running back, and said his teammates are tripping, warming up shirtless. Buddy, yeah. I mean, what we're seeing, what everybody's hopeful for this new system. But yeah, I just that they talked about that, but the problem is nobody wants to be excluded. And
right.
And that's the thing is, even if you go to 16 teams, but small time makes probably the best point though about the conference. Where did the comment go? Oh, they're down here. This right here, folks. We don't even know if Georgia's going to be playing Carson Beck in that game.
Right.
We don't know. There's no news on that. I would doubt it looking at as bad as that injury was. But you just this is a debate because after the first year, JT, and JT and I are in talks to keep doing more sports going forward and through the next year. So hopefully we can hit this topic more and more as time goes. What do you think, JT?
I think it would be cool to try to come up with our own answer to all this and get it all figured out. But of course, we're the only ones that are going to give it any weight. No one's going to listen to it, right? But
I don't know. We can get feedback from the chat and see if they like it or not. But everybody's so focused on getting Alabama out this year. But we got 3 teams that apparently didn't deserve it, even Tennessee. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be really interesting to see the reaction to the fan base up there. They were, it's almost like this kind of challenges my thought because sometimes I'm saying, well, it'd be better to just get decimated and not even sort of be in the game.
Right.
Well, no, this is not. This is embarrassing. For the conference,
we were thinking like, do we even toy with doing a play-by-play? We said no, we probably don't really want to do something like that. But we were really hoping to talk about the strengths and weaknesses of like maybe individual players who were playing, and the offense and the defensive side of the ball. And do you go for it on 4th and 2 in this situation? Do you pay attention to the analytics? Do you go with your gut feeling, or do you do the traditional calls? We're not going to even bother with any of that right now when it's 21-0, right?
Yeah, Buddy said the problem is you can't really see based on prior year record. I think that's like for the New Year polls, but honestly, this here's what I would have done. I'd have taken your 5 conference champions, so your top 5 seeds. Mm-hmm. None of this. Well, you like Boise State could at one point when Boise State was the Mountain West champion, but would be 12 seed going to Ohio State. No, if you're a conference championship champion, you get a home game. Period. Mm-hmm. If we're in this 12-team format, it rewards somebody for winning the conference title. Okay, this deal with Clemson today having to go to Texas is hypocrisy considering what the committee has said. You're not rewarding a conference champion or somebody being in the championship game because you're putting them on the road at somebody that did not even play for a conference title. That's
Right.
one thing. Two, like Small Time said, your injury issues that could happen more in a conference championship game could mar the quality of a playoff game later at that point. So, yeah, see, so you talk about you could have a secondary tier based on coming in as wild cards. That's what you would do for everybody after the top 5 conference champions, and do it regardless of conference. If you have 6 Big Ten and 1 SEC, that's what you have. But you've got to analyze and you got to use a brain to figure it out. Indiana is smoke and mirrors with 1 loss. When had Indiana played Michigan, had Indiana played Illinois, had Indiana played Oregon, and even been competitive,
they all would
in
have been
those games,
losses. Well, maybe they would have beaten Michigan, but yeah.
Right, but the thing is, there's more schedule than what they played. You compare it to Alabama and their losses in their conference, and you really have to do. I think you have to really be willing to be subject and analyze stuff, and willing to be criticized for it. Make a damn decision. We took these teams because on the field they were right or wrong. Small Town Republic came up with 3 teams in lieu of with Alabama, Tennessee, Alabama, South Carolina, and Ole Miss.
Right.
The last of them should go is Ole Miss. Ole Miss had every advantage. They blew it themselves. They lost to Kentucky at home. Indiana even dodged. Yeah, see, and that's the problem. And I did hear this. Jimmy Hyams is one of the best sports guys I've ever heard. He's out of Knoxville. He's retired, but he does still some freelance work and some part-time for the WNML. I love that guy. I've heard him as a guest on it down here in Florida. He talked about that specific issue before this game tonight in the pregame about the conferences with all these unbalanced schedules. Like Texas played an easier schedule than Alabama in the conference.
It's because
from
these
conference to
conferences are
conference.
too big. So do you go back to the division model? Do you break up the conference, or do you just? I don't have the answer to that. Other than I think maybe you go back to the divisions.
It's sort of like this. I think divisional play is better because the divisional play will force you to have your teams play some decent teams to enhance your quality of competition. But how do you split it with 18 teams? And you want everybody playing the division once. That would be 9. That'd be 8 games right there. In SEC, you never play a team on the other side. And that's been a big issue in the SEC, about 8 or 9 conference games. So,
and it's been a big issue in the Big Ten too, because they refuse to balance the divisions properly. So they put Penn State, Michigan State, and Ohio State all on one side, and then the only other people on the other side, it was a has-been Nebraska, Iowa, and Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So
we thought we were going to solve problems this year, but it looks like we got more issues. So looks like Tennessee may have had an interception. They're reviewing it. So this game's not over, folks. Darnder things have happened, but I think we're going to work, and we're going to make this a shorter stream tonight because I watch Tennessee come back and win, only because I am going to try to save my voice tonight. If it was back and forth and Tennessee was up 20 or something, I'd go, but we're trying to make sure we stay healthy for Grandma to see her on Christmas Day, and
we're thinking about the New Year's Eve stream, the 24-hour stream.
Yes.
I got to keep that in the back of our minds too.
We've started making plans for that. We
Yes.
started making plans for that now. And I remembered I went back and saw the first part of that. You were there with me at about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
I was.
I didn't realize you came in early and then stayed at the end.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I was in and out maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
I just remember being there more than once. That's all.
Yes. And that's why I hope some of the guests do that.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll be here. We're starting to work on the graphics. So we are going to start at 4 a.m. on Tuesday, December 31st, because the first time zone will be Kiribati, which is an island nation. Tarawa, if if you remember from World War II, is the first to enter the time zone. There are actually 26 time zones, JT.
Yeah, because
It's
of
weird.
the half hours and
No, there's
all of that in
38.
there.
There are 20. There are 38 time zones.
Mm-hmm.
There are 38 time zones, but it takes 26 hours for a whole day because Kiribati, they kind of overlap, but they have their own time zones. It's really weird when you see it on the map. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
how is this possible? But it is. So, well, hey, I think Tim wants some controversy. Let's fight Tim on this one then. It's a question. Sorry, Tim. I saw is no. In no way is an undefeated Notre Dame better than any one-loss SEC team. We see that they are better. Okay, you take a one-loss SEC team. Let's look at that right now. Okay, one loss is Texas. No way. No way. Georgia had 2 losses. No way. Alabama, I still don't think Notre Dame is better than they are. So let me do this real quick. Let me see how it's advancing now, because it'll be interesting to see. It'd be nice if these ESPN would update. Why does everything have to be a bracket challenge? I just want to see how it's a bracket challenge. So let's see. Let's take a look at schedule. Maybe I can get it that way. So, of course, when I need something, I can't get it.
Of course.
I've just brought up. I got my worksheet. See, so Texas plays Oregon, I believe, next. I think so.
Yes. Well,
wait.
New Year's Day, 1:00, Texas, Arizona State.
Okay. Who does Notre Dame play now?
Notre Dame will play Georgia at 8:45 p.m. Eastern on the 4th.
But see,
on the 1st. I'm sorry, on the 1st.
I think even with the backup quarterback, Georgia is much better. But then again, like Small Time said, that injury affects everything, So normally, I believe so, without a doubt. And he said, yeah, he's better with us. 1 or 2 loss SEC team better than Notre Dame. At least this current Notre Dame team. This is still the same team that lost to Northern Illinois at home, 16-14, I will say.
And Notre Dame loves to play a bunch of nobodies on their schedule, too.
Look at this, buddy. Look at this, JT. You're going to have your resident troll here now. Now that he knows that Notre Dame is on your evil, too, like me. He lives off our hate, so. But, hey, Small Time did say demolish conferences, top 70 or so teams, be in a poll, keep your primary rivals, everything else schedule-wise generated. See, I agree with that. I with what's happening now, and because traditionally college football has been all regional, but then everybody was willing to just declare a national champion. But with his move for the money and to be decided on the field, because I'll be honest, to me the SEC started falling down when they admitted Texas A&M in misery.
Yeah,
who the hell are these people? Now they bring in Texas and Oklahoma. On paper, I understand why that's big. But as a college football fan, I don't want them in the SEC. They belong in the Southwest Conference. They believe with their natural rivals. But I mean, to that, I think Small Time's right there. And then have the schedule just completely generated, random. And then I think if you made it completely random, then that's what it is,
Right.
But you're always going to have bias with all these conferences and their scheduling now. I mean, we saw it this year. Vanderbilt could have had a better year had they gotten a type of Texas scheduling in the conference. So, about the New Year's Eve, yes. So it starts at 4 a.m. The first one will be 5 a.m. Eastern time, running to about 7 a.m. on January 1. So
on the 1st, yep.
The missus is planning on doing some stuff to that, and we'll have some guests with us for that. So I think that's it. Well, we'll keep talking.
Yeah, Jim, Nebraska and Oklahoma and Nebraska and Colorado. Nebraska should have never been in the Big Ten.
Exactly. God, they got friggin' Missouri and Arkansas playing on friggin' Thanksgiving Day. I was Missouri and somebody that's like, I miss seeing Oklahoma, Colorado, or Nebraska, Oklahoma. Those.
Because here's the thing: nobody cares about Nebraska in the Big Ten. As
No,
like Big Ten fans and other schools, we don't really care because Nebraska's not what they were 50 years ago,
no.
you know. So
I mean, Matt Rule comes back, everybody's celebrating them, and they end up 6-6.
yeah,
You know, it's like what? It's like what? I mean, where's the?
I mean,
Uh,
people view them more like an Iowa
yeah,
than they do this big scary team from
yeah.
decades ago. Especially if you're under 40, you never saw
See,
that school do that. I
yeah.
mean,
Well, let me say one thing before we, with this
sure.
Tennessee Ohio State game, Tennessee is driving. They've got a 3rd and 6 at about the 33 of Ohio State. Uh, See, I will say that I do think Tennessee fans do have some criticism for Josh Heupel because his offensive. I understand he's. Oh gosh,
They not
and
get it.
a pickoff got rushed. He flung the ball up there and got picked off. You don't help your quarterback throwing 3rd and long and stuff like that. I
No.
think that what he should do is run his real friggin' offense. Just run the damn offense the way you do it, and either he steps up and learns it or he doesn't. But I said this earlier this year. Gaston Moore's their backup. He has a big arm, but he threw a pick against Alabama. The one play came in. But at what point do you bench the quarterback? At least sit him for a series or two. And then Tennessee's run the ball 11 times, 7 by Nico, only 15 yards for him. Dylan
Mhm.
Sampson only has 2 carries in this game. They have only tried 7 passes then before that one. Look at Ohio State. They said screw running the ball. They started throwing it 18 times for 190 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. They're averaging 5.5 yards a carry here. 2 running backs. I'm like just like Josh Heupel. I think has maybe coddled this kid too much this year,
Maybe it's
and
possible.
and
It is
that's
possible.
why earlier this season when they were struggling, had 3 games where they scored no points the first half. I was saying bench Nico, just put him on the sideline for a few series. Even Texas did that. We saw Texas did that with Arch Manning for years there. I mean, I think there was a possible injury to at the point, but
Mhm.
no starter should be above sitting on the bench, especially if he plays for a Dallas Cowboy named Dak Prescott. But still, you know, sometimes the players need either send a message, get their focused, or let them see what's happening and they catch up to the game. They got a senior quarterback that's been in this offense for six years at UCF and Tennessee. You got a quarterback
Well,
out there struggling.
buddy,
What harm is
I
it to
think
put the
Tennessee
backup
could
in
use some
now?
gifts. Buddy, I think Tennessee could use
Yeah.
some gifts right about now.
Well, because yes, Nico just gave it back to Ohio State, so I'm and there have been a lot of people in Knoxville criticizing this kid this year. They've been hard on him at times, and you see he's not ready for the big stage, I guess. But that's why I think you always have your backups ready. You've got to have backup that can play and take over.
Mhm.
I mean, hell,
But that's hard to keep when everybody hits the portal the second they don't get, 28 whatever snaps in a game.
yeah, but see, sometimes it happens, like in
I mean, a
Tennessee's
lot of
case.
times now it's a luxury to have a backup quarterback
Yeah.
on in these college teams. Like Michigan State, did play in the first college football playoff
Uh-oh.
championship game, which was
Oh,
not that far ago, not that long ago.
yay, Rocky
Now,
Top. Yay, officials. Yay, SEC. 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 Oh,
I mean, now Michigan State has, I think, 17 or 18 players that have already gone through the portal.
Buddy,
So
I've got to ask Buddy
who's
a
left?
question. I got to ask Buddy this question. Was
Mhm.
it one of those fake little, quote, blow to the heads type roughing the quarterback that are very debatable, or was it legitimate roughing the quarterback? Because I saw the play where he threw the pick and he was getting pressured all around. But that's why I gave up on it. I didn't see any roughing the passer on the play, you know, because that's another thing officiating, the rules,
Right.
you know, and that it's inconsistent, it's ticky tack. So we now have another 3rd and 9 for Tennessee. Um, if they get held here, I think you kick the field goal. See, I, pass interference. He hit him early. No, they didn't call pass interference. See, buddy, I don't know if you saw that. That was a case right there where a lot of Tennessee fans had it. I don't know if you saw the play, JT, but Nico had a chance to pull the ball down and run probably for 10 yards right ahead. There was an angle, but he's so looking trying to throw the ball downfield. He threw it to
He
a
doesn't even
fade.
see it.
He faded to the ball. The receiver didn't really have much room to catch the ball on the side of that. So so let's see if Rocky Top gets on the board.
How long is this kick?
It's about 41 yards, I think. He made it. And they got a field goal. Yay, 21-3. But yeah. No, the guy had his arms around the QB as though the ball and fell into. Oh, that's that putting the weight on him. You know, back in my day, that was just called good defense.
That was called football. Yeah.
You take them to the damn ground, dogpile them. But anyway, yeah, no, buddy, thank you for that clarification. Oh, yeah, even walk-on players get in the portal. It's the social contagion. Walk-ons in the portal. Oh,
yeah.
Boy. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, folks, how much longer do we have in this to halftime? We got we still got 6
minutes and some change.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Well, I think in the mode of common sense and to preserve for Monday and for next week, I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream here. Let's finish up any last thoughts, JT. If there's anything you want to cover, you guys in the chat, if y'all want, how about this? We'll keep talking till Ang brings the hot chocolate. Would that work? Yeah.
Hot chocolate. All I heard was hot chocolate, and I'm interested.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that.
Well, then you for sure have to get going because you don't want anything to interrupt that. Although you got to let hot chocolate cool a little bit too.
No, I know, but still, I try to drink it as quickly as I can, not waiting too long.
Just burn your mouth and chocolatey goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's why Mrs. and I debate soup. She likes it scalding hot.
Oh, no.
No, we had that story about a long time ago. Maybe we'll talk about it on New Year's again. But she, hey, Snortapoopas. Hey, the bear's here. How are you tonight?
I actually like cold soups. I do.
She scalded herself once. We had to go to the emergency room, and that was another story. But I just like room temp. I like warm soup. I want it. Yeah, I don't want it cold. I want it warm where I can get the warmth of it. So
it's like a shower. You want a warm shower. You don't necessarily need it so hot. You're giving yourself a 3rd degree burn.
No, I agree. I can't stand it. And I've done that with pizza sometimes, getting pizza straight out of the oven.
Oh, on the roof of your mouth. Everybody's done it.
Once again, for you non-football fans, this is how bad. This is our opinion of how bad the first round of the college football playoffs off. We're talking about food, pizza, donuts, all kinds of other stuff. It's not football. But we also got some. And Peter Venkman, I love having you around still. Oh, you guys, and I hope y'all like learning about football with us. But hey, it's great to have all you guys hanging out with us and listening and contributing. I wish I had gingerbread, but I do have cherry pie. So
that's right. You were talking about that at the beginning of the stream, weren't you?
And I got Cool Whip with it. Which reminds me, the other night. You need to go back and watch our Home Alone 2 stream. Or okay. I might take the missus and clip it. I may get her to clip it. We were doing the script reading and all, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know the shower scene with Uncle Frank?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Cool jerk. Get out of here, those little pervert. I'm going to slap you silly. That scene.
In fact, I remember thinking that scene was so hilarious that I tried to do that scene at home. Individual results may vary on whether you're going to get grounded or not.
Well, I tell you what, she let me read that script, and I got to sing Uncle Frank's part that night.
Yeah.
That night with the cracky voice, it was perfect. Thank you, Ang.
Look inside. Look what's in there.
What's inside of it? Oh, Cool Whip or marshmallow?
Arsenic. Arsenic.
Oh, whipped topping and what? Chocolate?
Mm-hmm. Chocolate chips.
Chocolate chips and whipped top. Wow. Thank you, Ang. Thank you. So, Snort Poopus lying in bed, not feeling well, seems to pass. Well, glad you're feeling better, Snort Poopus. But I think what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and cut off the stream because we are got the 24 hours on New Year's. 20. What's that?
You were asking Ang, oh, what's in it? And I didn't think you were listening. So I said arsenic.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
everybody on
yeah.
stream heard, but not you.
Yeah.
So you said I heard that.
There you go. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you could, I tell you, it could have it in it, and I'd drink it anyway. But hey, but yeah, we got 11 people here. Thank y'all for coming in tonight. We because we talked about the games the much is worth of saying. We talked about a college football playoff system.
Mhm.
Look forward to having more talks like this going forward in the future. And like JT and I've been talking about doing more football, not just football, other stuff over the year. We might even do some world football, JT. I know you're big into German soccer.
I am.
And looking at things around the world, Canadian football, rugby even. You know, we could have our friend Dave C. talk about rugby too. Maybe one night, but but I appreciate you, JT. Thanks for coming on. No one scored any. See, this is what I love. This is what I love. This is what excites me with people. This is what YouTube's about. It's just no one scored any home runs. We're talking football, but it's wonderful you're here. Thank you. And I tell you, Peter Venkman has been retweeting out our streams a lot lately, even if it hadn't, but it's still always even better when you're here. But we appreciate all the support from every one of y'all here. I'm willing to do Aussie rules football. I've told that to Hungry. So
I'm going to have to learn it.
Yeah. I love Australian rules football though, but it's not flowers in the attic there. What the hell?
What?
I don't get that. So
oh, hey, Brogu.
Brogu. Hey, Mr. LSU. Speaking of another team that should have been in the playoffs before, Indiana, SMU, and now Tennessee. Jeez. Well, it looks like Tennessee's going to get the ball again with about 4 minutes left.
Well, maybe we'll be delightfully surprised at in 2 hours from now.
Well, look, and the thing is, every time I go to, can't close because usually we go about 90 minutes anyway. We got 13 people here. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody coming in, make sure you've hit that like button and all. That messes up Buddy. Wait, which one? I wonder if your reference to this. I wonder if it's not flowers. I'm not getting it. Tim wants to halftime. JT, I can do the halftime. Can you do the halftime?
Oh yeah, we can go to halftime.
All right, we'll go to halftime. Tim, just for you and Peter Venkman and Snort Poopus just woke up. Brogu just got in. I tell you, this happens so many times, but I'm serious. I love the thing with YouTube. A lot of people.
Or the stream gets bigger right when you're staying your good nights.
Yeah, it's like I'll keep going. I got nothing else to do. And you people are fun, and we have fun chatting. And this is what I tell everybody: give the damn sports streams a chance. We'll go into different topics. Mm-hmm. I'm not hard. Now what I do may annoy and piss off a lot of serious sports people, but we did talk serious sports. Buddy and Small Time had valid things with the playoff system. We talk about it. No, but then again, we can talk donuts, food, everything else. I'm not beholden to one format.
Dad, man, you're getting called out here. What do you mean? What do you mean, you people?
For me, that means a term of affection. Okay, I'm sorry. I guess I do it to my family so much that I say it too often. Sorry, Tim. Although sometimes Mrs. looks at me like, "What do you mean, you people? Who are you talking to?" It's messed up. Oh, you misspelled that. God. Okay. Oh, Brogu's laughing. Anyway, you guys, you're rocking out there tonight. Thanks for hanging in. Oh, no, Tim. No, you asked for it. You got it. There's only about 4 minutes left in the half anyway. So, well, of course, we got what do you think about the other college fans out there? What about the 2-minute timeout in college football now? Are you a fan or not?
Oh. Me or them? Me, I'll just tell you, I hate it.
Yeah.
But I hate it in the NFL too. So,
but see, at least in the NFL, it's been one of those things that's always been there. It's historic. It's been out there. And, obviously to get one more network TV timeout in, but in college it was never there because not every game was on TV. You
Right.
know, and I mean, like your small Division II schools that aren't televised, but now everybody's got a 2-minute timeout for no reason.
Yes.
It's like
Everybody.
basketball in college. Basketball because I used to work at a Division I school for basketball operations, and they televised games had 4 timeouts. Well, you had 4 timeouts, and you had the after 4 timeouts each half, and then if it was not a televised game, you got 5 timeouts. So, I don't like all the ads either, though. Am I drinking out of a Santa mug? No, I'm drinking out of a Chippendale Disney Skyliner one. Which honestly, folks, I mean, I don't get on all the Disney. We've done our stuff with Disney over the years and all that too. But the Disney Skyliner was really a cool thing that they built. It was nice. It was a wonderful thing to do, and it's nice, but it's like a rectangle coffee cup, not a circle. So
Sure.
it's neat. By the way, we had a great story with Aang on it because, it stopped. It's a gondola ride, and it stops. And Aang was freaking out one day because it stopped for an extended time. And Mrs. goes like, "Oh, don't worry, Aang. Don't worry. It won't fall far."
Yeah.
And what's so sucky, they run it over some of the places they run it over are like little lakes. I wonder how deep the lake is. But, that's also been an issue about how long they can fire rescue, all that response and all this stuff too. But hey,
right.
Let's see. Okay, cocoa tastes better at Christmas when it comes. When it comes, I'll take your word for that. Very creative. I like that. But yes, NFL originally had 2-minute warning to literally warn the teams the half was almost over prior to having on-field clocks. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's definitely a legacy thing, right?
Yeah. You laughing. Hey, Chewy, another Brogu. Meet Chewy. I don't know if you met Chewy. Chewy Brogu is an LSU fan also. Chewy's chiming in about the playoff. ESPN in his 2 cents knows how to do simulcast real well. TNT doesn't, and there's little no difference. Like this network had money for a pregame crew, but no one on site to call the game or different ways to see the game. Yep, I know.
Well,
getting some of that. But Chewy, good to see you tonight.
Down to what, 2 minutes here?
Yeah, we're down to about. Is that why we had a timeout? Yeah, it looks like a 2-minute one. Man, they got there fast. Oh, Will Howard for Ohio State's 15-19, 198 yards, passing, a touchdown, and an interception. Ohio State's run the ball for 61 yards, 4.7 a carry, 2 touchdowns on the ground by the running backs. Ohio State's really sharp again, although they slowed down. This is a big drive. Can Tennessee cut it 21-10 at half? Tennessee gets the ball to start the second half, I believe. This game's not over, but Tennessee has no wiggle room. And the problem is they're doing the dink and dunk passes. Nico's got to develop, and that's been a complaint that they've had with him all year. They don't open up the offense, and he's not learned how to attack the differences. Oh, this is about you won't fall far. I'm a bad mom. Yes, exactly. So, and Broga says hi to Chewy over on the Twitch side. All right, so we got 2 minutes left here. Tennessee has actually got a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. So
they do, but if they walk away out of this with a field goal, it's still pretty much over.
Yeah, you need a touchdown here.
Yeah.
Well, they got a first down now on the outside. That's one thing I heard the Tennessee people talking about this week, attacking the Ohio State defense, was the corners on the outsides.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State's been such a dominant defense that they don't let people go over the middle much, which is what Nico has done a lot. Slants, drags over the middle, stuff like that, So they're this Ohio State defense has been built to stop this Tennessee type of offense. Now I do see that they are laying back a little bit now because uh, if earlier Tennessee could not run the ball
Right.
because they were all up on the line, but they forced a scramble for a couple yards, but he got out of bounds to stop the clock. Let's see. Chewy says Houston is in the house. I'll be seeing the Vols Buckeyes on ESPN2 with Pat McAfee. These guys are somewhat a fresher breath air to hair. Heck, if I hear Paul Feinbaum for a simulcast, can do a show while the game is on. TNT needs a whole study to working better on doing something. So yeah, I was surprised, JT. I don't know if you realize it, but the earlier games today were on TNT and Max. I'm watching the night's game on ESPN. Actually, I'm going through ESPN ABC through the SEC network on the Skycast. I have it muted, but it's on ABC. The earlier games were restricted to TNT and Max.
Which means
so
I'm
you
just
would
not going to watch them.
Right. You would be out of those games. And we're talking a college football playoff, and you put them on channels that people can't watch.
Right.
So, well, looks like let's see if Tennessee fourth and or is it first?
I have an incomplete pass.
It's 4th and 1.
The last play.
They went for 4th and 1 dive play. They got the first down. All right.
Well, you have to. I mean,
yeah. I'm watching it right now. It's like a simulcast would be. They're depending on, like right now they're back above Nico taking the snap, and you see it from his backside. And Tennessee, go baby. There you go. Get that ball. Come on. See, the problem with this game for Ohio State, though, JT.
Yep.
Shot the wad in the first quarter. How many times have we seen a team and that's literally what it is. These teams go so far, so hard. Alabama, the game against Georgia, and they could do nothing. It takes a lot of effort to re-get that energy back in the second half.
Well, I find it very hard to believe Ohio State's not going to score at least 2 more times.
Yeah.
And that's going to be really hard for Tennessee.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how best to describe it, but they do some split screens too with them, Chewy, like right now with the replays. And they're showing up the scoreboard up high. It's kind of neat because they take various camera angles, but the camera itself is behind the offense. And sometimes they close up, like right now they're close up on the safety or the middle linebacker, and they'll back off towards the snap. You see more of the right side of the field. Oh, quarterback draw. There you go, Nico. That's not a bad play call. That's not a bad play call there, Tennessee on that one. So we're getting up with a third down. I wonder, Tennessee will take a timeout, so I'll catch up on the chat. That's the best I can describe, Chewy. It's not bad. Honestly, if you're not wanting to listen to commentators, it's actually not that bad. And I've gotten in my older age that I don't care about commentators anymore. So, Buddy said,
I don't like them. I don't like them. Like, if you're watching NFL, they have Tom Brady doing stuff now. I'm like, really?
I tell you what, I'd rather hear Mrs. Dadman broadcast a game. She does it. It's better. It's fun,
Yeah.
I think the problem is sometimes these guys take themselves way too seriously. So TNT and TBS were simulcasting, but people always have both channels if they have them. If they have them, not everybody has cable or other streaming packages.
I do not have cable.
That's the thing I think with all this stuff, the move to ESPN has been bad because they think everything's ratings. But then again, JT, we talked about the traditional over the air though. You live in a place that you could get it. We got somebody that we know that could not get Fox Network during the season.
Right.
I mean, that's the problem. In the old days before this move to digital, you could get, anything anywhere. But now I'm like my ABC affiliate. I got to move the thing around, the box around to be able to get it because it works in one spot, but in a spot for all the others is a different spot.
Well, yeah, folks, what Dadman's referencing is I just put up an antenna I don't even put it like on my roof, and it's just sitting in the attic unpowered, and I get like 65 channels on an average weather day. So
Yeah.
why would I pay for cable? Yeah, not all those channels are great viewing, but
and we have a first and goal at the 4. 30 seconds left. Clock is running. Inside. Come on, Josh. Don't. You better use that timeout. 24 seconds now.
are they going to call stupid shit? You know what I mean?
I mean, well, the problem is you only got one timeout left now. You're not, and I tell you, I don't think they're going to be able to run this ball in on Ohio State. Now they're drawn up to stop them.
Mm-hmm.
Grogu doesn't understand the streaming services that are for movies and TVs, showing sports, because that's everything else. It's like cutting the cord. It's like people said with YouTube. But then look at YouTube TV. It's charging out the yin yang now. I mean, even the streaming services have gotten so much more expensive. So,
right.
But yeah, because because Grogu people like the sports, and the traditional way to get sports was ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, and now, everybody, they show more than they used to, but that shocked me this year to learn that people. I thought anybody could just put up an antenna in those little box things and get ABC. I did not realize that satellite. It's horrible. I was like, dang, But okay, we got a second to go. 24 seconds left in the first half, folks. I tell you, if Tennessee can score a touchdown here, we might have a game in the second half, because I believe Tennessee gets the ball to start the second half. And I will, but you can't get this close and not score.
Right.
Rocky Top, yes. There you go. Touchdown,
right.
Nico. There you go. They're on the board. Kick the one. Don't go for two. It's too early.
And that really shifts the momentum in a game. If you feel like you're the underdog, but you can score going into halftime, now you feel like you have a chance. Where if you were going into the locker room 3-21,
16 plays, 79 yards, 4.5 minutes off the clock on that drive. That was impressive, though. But I will tell you, he's going to have to throw the ball beyond this wide screen, those bubble screens and stuff. The Ohio State will adjust in the second half. I think they got a little conservative there with that in the play calling. So, we got 3 on the Twitch side too. All right, so let me catch up with the chat, and we'll get this game to halftime, and we will say goodnight at that point to save my voice. But I'm glad we held on to halftime, though, at least. Small Time said ESPN subcontract did those 2 games to TNT. Everything about college football has layers of shadiness. Yep. Buddy's watching the game on ABC. Chewy said TV.
Oh, shoot. Well, buddy, I don't know what to tell you.
TNT did have alongside TBS, but same game, same commercials. I'll say True TV could have aired as well. Yeah. What I discovered that was crazy this year is that that CW does sports now. Did you know that, JT?
Yes. Yep.
It was the official network of the Pac-12 or the Pac-2. But yeah, it's crazy. So I love it. Peter Venkman fans say, did he run it down center court? No, he ran it off right tackle. That's what we need to do one day is we really do a football 101, but no. But I love the question. Yeah. Oh, well, Buddy likes Tom Brady, though, in the game.
Oh, I cannot stand him on the games.
Yes, Mrs. I would rather have you, even if you don't know anything about football, be a commentator. Find another friend. The 2 of y'all can make it fun. Make it a lot have fun. Yeah, no excuses. Starlink is available. Yeah, if you can afford it, if you can get it. But hey, anyway, good to see. He's the Rev. Good to see you tonight on the Twitch side. Hey, Disney wants you to sub to ESPN Plus. Part of the plan to black the games out. Touchdown. Santa's been working on his ducks in a row for his collection overview stream. I believe he talked about that being in March, though. So, sorry, buddy. I couldn't resist. There was finally something. Yeah. Oh, almost a minute behind. Wow. Well,
Yeah,
let's take
yeah, because we've got a delay on our stream, from what we do on StreamYards to what you see on YouTube, and that's about 15 seconds from what I've deduced. And
Yeah.
so,
well, just for
hopefully you
recap,
can catch up at halftime or something. If
Yeah.
it's something you have to refresh the browser for, maybe. Don't know.
as Chewy said, CW doing sports, but I want to say they changed the scoring graphics this year for football. Last year they borrowed the ESPN scoreboard look, but put CW on the right corner. It's okay at best, but I've seen better. Yeah, and that's the thing is they'll probably work there as they do it over time. They will get better with it. They'll find new ways to do stuff like that. So no, that's going to be on the 30th. Okay, all right. Well, make sure we know about it, Stunning, when you get that set up. Oh, it's Small Timer posted before I even said it. That's cool. All right. Well, it looks like Ohio State's going to just take a knee. There's 15 seconds. Well, I don't know because how the hell did they get the ball at the 40-yard line? Did they kick the ball out of bounds? Like, why don't you just kick the ball?
I wasn't paying attention.
I wasn't either. I turned my back, figured the half be no. Ohio State's going to try to. Wow. All right. Well, that's a small. Hey, no time traveling allowed on this channel. Small Time Republic. We're linear. We're linear. Oh, I say we're psychics.
Yeah, yeah, maybe.
Man, dang, I gotta have Aang make.
If we're psychics, we're the worst psychics I've ever heard of because we're wrong so much of the time.
I know, but hey, we have fun. Embrace this. We have fun. Embrace it. Oh crap! Really? Wow. Five seconds left. Ohio State will use a timeout here. Tennessee left the whole screen open, middle open for about 20 yards right there. That's crazy. Chewy says I said this about Brady. Don't have an issue on Brady calling games, but what I did despise was the promos for the NFL on Fox. They included Brady. Seemed the promos lacked charisma. Hell, a promo for 1984 for the NFL on Fox had charm. But see, I'll be honest. The thing with that, it just seems like I don't know. It could be better. It could be different. Just putting another jock up in there because of what he did on the field and stuff like that. I'm serious. I'd love to hear the missus call a game. And there's that thing over there. Oh, he scored. I tell you what, because I'll be honest, a lot of these ESPN announcers, I don't like them. I don't like the Fox. But have you ever heard them? I mean, they make a 3-yard pass and make it overhyped.
Right. Or they're so in on their own supply that you end up missing a play on the field because you have to watch them talking to each other.
Yeah.
That annoys me. I mean, it happens every single Sunday.
They are trying a 56-yard field goal in this weather.
Let's see.
Looks like it was no good. Tennessee receives the kick in the second half. So 21-10 is your halftime score, folks. Get ready for a second half that's going to be could be exciting after we'll talk about the stuff and then oh god, you leaped ahead. Looks like Star Trek will be good in 2266. I like how to discuss Howie Long and others look when Brady is getting time on the show. Listen, I tell you, I hate Kirk Herbstreit. Mr. Ohio State.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I guess crap. Tennessee, Oklahoma this year. Yeah, Tennessee beat the crap out of Oklahoma. Then the Oklahoma freshman comes in, doesn't throw a pass. He's just running. Oh, this kid. Oh, look at him. He's the future of Oklahoma. And then 3 games later, they had to bench him because he couldn't do anything against Texas. Jackson Arnold comes back in, finishes the season for Oklahoma, who will now be Small Time Republic's quarterback at Auburn, from what I hear. So, who actually ran the ball down Alabama's throat at the end of the season. So 21-10 at the half this game. Nico is 7-16 for 81 yards, 13 carries, 36 yards. He's really their offense running the ball. Ohio State, if they clamp down on him, he's going to have to throw the ball whether Hypo likes it or not. I understand the Vol fans' frustration with their offense. It's not what it used to be. Not even close. our favorite wide receiver in SEC, Squirrel White. Yes, Squirrel White has one catch for 17 yards for Tennessee. So, Ohio State, Will Howard, 17-21, 220, touchdown and a pick, and 76 yards rushing, 5 yards of carry, and 2 touchdowns on the ground for Ohio State. So be ready for it'll come down to can Ohio State regenerate the offense. They scored 21 points in the first quarter, none in the second, and Tennessee got all the points in the second quarter. Can Tennessee come out and score and cut the lead down more coming out and, not fall further behind? What do you see for the second half real quick, JT, for Tennessee?
Oh, gosh. It's going to be tough. I think your assessment is pretty accurate on this, where they're going to have to probably just learn how to throw the ball, even if they don't want to. They're still down 2 scores.
Yeah.
You can't get around that. And so they're really going to have to start picking things up and moving at a higher tempo. The dink and dunk thing, I mean, maybe try it once, but I don't think you're going to be able to rely on it. I think the defense did finally wake up, but Ohio State's there too, and they're going to make second half adjustments. And I know people think that that's not a thing. It is a thing. It's most definitely a thing.
Yep.
And
your best coaches know how to make the second half, the halftime adjustments, and come out and take a game over in the second half. So
I think Ohio State might come out playing much more aggressively again in the first 5 minutes in the third quarter here. Well, assuming they get the ball, right? I think they're going to play much more aggressively on offense the first couple chances they get. And if Tennessee can't stop them, then the fourth quarter is not going to be helpful for them at all.
Yep. All right.
So,
I still say go Vols. I still say go Vols. But in the interest of saving my voice for Monday night, the missus and I, Merry Christmas, but I hope to see you again on Monday night, Peter Venkman Fan Site, the rest of y'all. We're going to do a detour with the Dadmans about our trip to Universal. We're going to show some stuff from the parades and the stuff that we saw down there. So because we didn't get to do our Christmas traditions last night, we want to do something for Christmas before Christmas. The 23rd is a perfect time for us. So I hope you can see us Monday night. I think we're looking for 8 o'clock Monday night. Come free. I hope to see you celebrate Christmas one more time before then. But if we don't see you, as always, Merry Christmas. And thank you, Peter Venkman Fan Site, for the comments and a good show. But what makes the show good is having a great co-host like JT Kirk. But even more importantly, and I think, show the slide.
Show the slide.
Oh, hold on, missus. Let me see. Let me get my Twitter tweet open. Okay. That's what you DM me during this stream. Okay. Give me a second. Hold on. So, but yeah, because the missus worked on the slide. So hold on, folks. Don't leave yet. Peter Venkman's Fan Site. I hope you're here because Mrs. wants this slide seen, and I'm going to make sure she gets it seen. I'm waiting for the DMs to open, Mrs. So let's see. Send a photo. Oh, nice. Yeah, and I can share it straight from here. So you guys, and I will tweet this out too tonight too. So I have this. And let's see. There we go. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. Detour with the Dadmans. Our Universal Adventure.
Very
Epic
cool.
Epic Universe preview. Yes, we saw the shop there. And yes, it does say Screams, steal my money. Take my money. Macy's Christmas Parade and Fabulous Food and Fun. We even saw the Grinchmas stage show, which was really, really, really nice. So hopefully y'all can make that Monday at 8 for us. I hope to see y'all there for that. Let me see real quick if I've got one other thing she sent. Yeah, I got that too. We talked about New Year's. JT Kirk, like I said, I forgot JT was with me at the beginning. I think the missus was asleep at 5 o'clock in the morning, but JT was there. We called it this year a little different title, Around the World for New Year's Eve, 38 time zones in 26 hours, starting December 31st at 4 a.m. So, yes, and it is 38 time zones because of quarter hours like UCLA and other places like that.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Great
Well, I hope-
pronunciation.
I
Great
know.
pronunciation.
Well, you guys take care. I'm gonna rest the voice. See y'all Monday night. And JT, thank you again. Have fun and have fun, chat. Talk to you later. Bye all.
Wow.